Hey, welcome back to the channel. I'm Sherry from AmpedToGlamp. Back on the camera is John. We are here at the 2022 Tampa RV SuperShow. We're going to be speaking with Rob from Winnebago, who's going to go over some of the accessibility features in two of the models they have. One is a Class B and the other is a Class A. So let's go see them. This is Rob from Winnebago. Rob, why don't you tell us a little bit about what your position is at Winnebago?
So yeah, I'm the director of Winnebago Specialty Vehicles. And so one of the products we make are the accessibility enhanced RVs. And we have two here at the show. A Class B, which is a Winnebago Roam, brand new product. And on this side we have the Inspire, which is our Class A.
Why don't you take us for a tour, show us what these vehicles have and how some of our users might use them.
Absolutely. All right, so follow me in here. What I'm standing on here is a Braunability wheelchair lift. This allows someone in a wheelchair to be lifted up into the vehicle. Once someone comes into the vehicle, there's plenty of open space here for someone to move around in a wheelchair, turn all the way around. We've got standard swiveling front seats, so someone could transfer into the front seats either to drive or to be a passenger.
Now, do the front seats, do they slope downward to make for easier exit from the chair, or like there's some chairs for accessibility chairs that will lean?
Yeah, these are the standard Ram ProMaster seats that come with the chassis, so they don't have that feature. They go forward and backward, they swivel around, and the backrests will adjust. As you come in, just under the carpet here, this is for the show only, you see standard wheelchair tie-downs. So straps attached to those and then can attach to your wheelchair to lock it in place so you can safely ride in your own wheelchair. Some other nice features, here we have a nice galley, 3 cubic foot refrigerator, a hanging pantry for some extra storage that again you can reach if you're in a wheelchair. All the switches in the vehicle and monitors are all at a height that you can see and reach from a wheelchair.
So John, why don't you hold the camera? I want to stand next to it just so that on 5.3 I just want folks to see where it is from where I'm standing.
Yeah.
Right about here is where it's at. So it is lower than we've seen in the other Winnebagos.
So countertop extension here, be a little more space to work in. As you come back this way, one of the things you'll again notice is all the controls are at this height, easy to access. And then if you're in a wheelchair, this cabinet, upper cabinet, is one you're most likely to be using from your wheelchair. So if you lift this up, it's a nice feature where you can pull the whole thing down.
Oh, I like that.
And you have easier access to the contents. Push that back in. We have these straps on, so again, a little easier to reach from a seated position. TV is on our articulating arm, so you can point it any direction within the vehicle. Also have a table, flips up from the wall, so you can imagine from your side someone in a wheelchair could roll up to this, and then from this side we have an extension making the table twice as large.
Very nice.
Okay, now we have a good sized wet bath here. So this is a cassette toilet with a built-in shower and with a shower head that's reachable from a seated position. We have a couple grab handles to help you get in and out.
I noticed there is a step up. Do you know how high that step is?
That step up is about 4 to 5 inches high. It's about as low as we could possibly get it and still have the plumbing to have a little bit of room underneath. But we do have this nice privacy curtain here. So it has magnets that attach it to either side. You can open it from either side. So it doubles as a privacy as well as some additional structure for your shower curtain. As you come to the back, you see a nice sofa which converts into a bed. This switch right here is power activated for making this turn into a bed. So it's very nice having it power instead of having to manually operate it.
That's actually a good thing because there are a lot of people who are wheelchair bound, and I have some family members who are myself, who are there because of joint issues, and so just even in the wheelchair, having to pull out of bed could be a very difficult process for them.
I have personally tried changing some of these, the manual ones, into bed, and it's somewhat difficult even for me. So this is a very nice feature. Okay. All the windows, of course, have the built-in privacy shades all the way around, and then we have some nice accent lighting. So, for example, on the floor,
Nice.
I've got a switch here. So if you're laying in bed, you can reach the switch. You give yourself a little bit of nice accent lighting along the bottom. And then we also have accent lighting up above the cabinets as well. Some of the handles you see, the one has entry, the handle over here, and there are ram tracks mounted on the walls. So this is an example of an accessory which is made for ram, and it's a cup holder, but they have all sorts of accessories. So we put the tracks in different locations, so if you wanted to add cup holders, iPad holders, cell phone holders, there's different accessories, the brackets are installed. I think that's, we have some additional cabinetry up above. One of the things I will note is the angled face of these cabinets. It was done on purpose to give you a sense of more space inside the vehicle. And if I'm sitting as a passenger, I don't feel like it's intruding on my headspace.
Is it possible to show us what the bed is like when it's down so we can
Certainly.
see Yeah, I see that could be a pretty easy transition there. It's not very high at all. Yeah. Great, thank you.
You're welcome. So it comes with a 12-gallon freshwater tank, 13-gallon gray water tank, and then the cassette toilet has 5-gallon holding, so that's a separate tank by itself. 2 AGM batteries kind of allow the powering in the vehicle. And then while you're driving, those will obviously get recharged. And then in this unit, it has a pop top. So above your head is an
I
opening.
didn't even see that.
Yes. And so up there is space for 2 more sleeping spots. So a ladder attaches right here. We've got the ladder folded up and stored here.
Yep.
It comes down to the floor here.
We just saw something very similar in an Echo.
Yes.
I'll admit it, we snuck into the prototype.
It's the same pop top.
Okay,
Yes.
great. Awesome. And what is the price point on something like this?
So the non-pop top version is $134,581.
Okay.
And the pop top version is add $10,000 to that price. Yep.
Now, let's say that I'm not looking for a Class B, but instead I want a travel trailer. Is there anything that I can do to have that modified by Winnebago? Or is there a type of travel trailer that might work out well for me if I'm in a wheelchair?
So I would say that right now there is not a accessibly enhanced travel trailer option. What I tend to see people doing is getting toy haulers and the back end that folds all the way down that creates a ramp to get into the vehicle. But making a vehicle accessible is more than just getting someone in and out. It's making the features inside accessible, whether it's cabinetry, placement of switches, accessible bathrooms. And so at this point, I don't know of any trailers that are doing that. We are looking at that as a future option through specialty vehicles, but at this point I don't know of any. All right, so this is the Winnebago Inspire. So this is our Class A accessible motorhome. It is just under 36 feet diesel vehicle. You can see here Braunability platform lift, 850 pound capacity for this. So this, if you're in a wheelchair, this is the way you get in and out of the vehicle. And we can come inside up the second entrance. So you'll really notice the openness that's designed in here. You can see on the floor standard wheelchair tie downs. Again, if you have your wheelchair and you want to be traveling in it, straps attached to those connect to your wheelchair, keep you safely secured. Very open, flat floor plan here. You've got a couch here that turns into a bed to sleep 1 or 2 people here.
Now, is that motorized as well, or?
This one is motorized, yes. Yep. down and up.
Very good.
In the front, this is a Loft Bunk. This will come down, give you sleeping for 2 more people up in front. The dinette will turn, the table will go down and the cushions come across, gives you another sleeping space.
And that's motorized as well?
This is not motorized.
Okay, so you have to do that manually, okay.
You have an extension built into the table, so again, if you're in a wheelchair, you can roll up to this and give you a chance to eat without having to transfer. Okay. You notice the size of the aisleways, right? You want to specifically make them nice and broad and wide so that it's easy to maneuver a wheelchair up and back in the coach.
It's very wide in here. That's one of the first things I noticed, just how much space you have from side to side.
Absolutely, yep. So some of the things we had to do is just, we had to shorten some of the dinette cushions, some of these things, because when the vehicle's in, when the slides are in, we also wanted you to be able to move up and down. To the back, bathrooms are super important. So real low threshold here, you can roll right in. On the toilet, get the curtain here, shower area, just nice open space. This unit's got some nice premium features to it as well. For example, built-in washer dryers, really nice large wardrobe spaces inside and the drawers.
Now I noticed in the wardrobe, the rack goes across the top there. Right?
Yes,
if
someone
an option for it to go lower.
If someone wanted to, they could put another one down below, make it lower. And the bed is offset, again, to allow the wheelchair to come through on the side and be able to transfer into the bed. As you come into the bedroom space, you've got nice TV, windows, your air conditioning, ventilation, and then a sliding door.
That's very nice. How about the kitchen? Can we talk about the kitchen a little bit? I don't think we went through that.
So we have LP burners for your stovetop, microwave oven, and just really a lot of drawer space below here for all the utensils and pots and pans and things you want to bring along.
Now, is this lower than usual, or is this normal height for the...
This is normal height, so we weren't able to lower it in this particular version at this time, but hopefully still accessible for people in a wheelchair.
Okay.
One of the things I will note, as we build the accessible vehicles is not every element is perfectly accessible, but we realize that people travel usually with somebody else. So very rarely would you see someone in a wheelchair traveling in this vehicle by themselves. It's with other people. So, for example, some of these cabinetries and so on are a little difficult from a seated position, but we wanted to include them because it's still valuable storage spaces, and as the groups are traveling together, they have the opportunity to use all of the storage spaces, whether they're fully accessible or not.
Do you have any other plans for any other accessible models down the road, besides the travel trailer that we discussed?
Yeah, we're really committed to this space. So this vehicle, for example, will continue to get enhancements to make things a little bit easier to use, more accessible. The Class B that we saw, the Roam, that's brand new. So we're already looking at what are the next things we're going to be adding to that, tweaks, improvements. So we have a pretty steady list of things we want to continue to evolve in both of these platforms.
And what is the price point on this one?
This one is selling for about $291,000.
It's a diesel, right? How long is it?
It's a diesel. It's just under 36 feet long.
That's about right in range for something like this.
Yeah, it's a very solid vehicle. 10,000 pound towing capacity.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Anything else you'd like to add?
Just want to say, come check them out. La Mesa dealership, which is representing this vehicle here at the Tampa show, has information about all the vehicles, all the inventory, and they're your go-to at this point to check these out. Thanks.
Well, thank you very much. This was very informative.
Thank you.
We are very excited to hear that Winnebago is committed to improving accessibility in RVs. We know that it's not perfect, but they are trying. For those of you who may have been at the Hershey show, and I know that we had some viewers who requested for us to look for accessible models at the Hershey show and we couldn't find them, we just found out from Rob that they have specific accessibility dealerships. They are specially trained in these models and they don't send them to the regular dealerships. So here in Florida, La Mesa is your contact if you're looking for either the Class B or the Class A that we are standing in. And I gotta tell you, John, it is a very nice RV.
It is.
And I love how wide it is. You know, my dad has some accessibility issues.
Right.
And I think something like this would be great for him. And even the van.
Yes.
All right, folks, that's it for this one. We'll see you in the next one.